Oklahoma's Superintendent of Public Instruction, Ryan Walters, being accused of ignoring serious abuse allegations while instead focusing on fighting against the wokeness.
Woke.
Since taking office as superintendent in January 2023, Walters has made fighting the so-called woke mob his main objective, and so he's ignoring everything else, using the powers of his office to revoke the teaching licenses of liberal teachers, while allegedly slow-walking the process to revoke the certifications of teachers embroiled in abuse allegations, some of which even include literal grooming. So, for example, in a July 31st board meeting, he fast-tracked a supposed woke teacher to a hearing officer after she commented on a Facebook post saying that she wished the first shooter in the first assassination attempt of Donald Trump had a, quote, better scope. Now, is that a good thing to say in public? No, it is not. It's a terrible thing to say, but she also said it on her own time. Okay, now that said, Scott's comment was discovered and shared widely online by Haya Rychik, who lives of TikTok, of course, whose posts have inspired bomb threats against schools. So now, Rychik tweeted about Scott on July 16th. Walters responded in a matter of hours. He was right on it, quick, saying, "This is unacceptable. The State Department of Education is investigating. We will not allow teachers to cheer on violence against Trump." 5 hours later, Walters tweeted that his investigation, he'd investigated enough, all right? I would be taking her teaching certificate. Quote, "She will no longer be teaching in Oklahoma." Oh, okay, well. Now, in order to get a certificate revoked, of course, Walters is able to call a board meeting at any time and send a teacher to a hearing officer. Now, the State Board of Education is entirely composed of his allies appointed by the governor, Kevin Stitt, who supports everything that he's doing. So basically, it's got a rubber stamp to pull the certifications of any teacher that he decides has violated, the state law or is too woke, too liberal, too progressive. Now, a hearing officer can advise Walters on whether a teacher should lose her certificate, but Walters does not have to follow that advice. So that's very clear. Now, at the July meeting, Walters and the board voted to send Scott to a hearing officer. The results on that are pending. Now, that's one. There's another example here. Teacher Summer Boismer had shared a QR code with students to access books banned from the school library in Oklahoma under one of their bills that bans critical race theory. So now, she correctly labeled that law bigoted as well while sharing this QR code. So now 12 days later, Walters, who was then the Secretary of Education, called for her certificate to be revoked, even though Boismer had, at that point, already resigned from her teaching position and took a new job in New York. But still, he's like, no, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to get your certification pulled so you can't teach anywhere. You're not even in New York. Okay. Now, Walters also attempted to revoke the license of Tyler Wynn, who said, "If your parents don't love and accept you for who you are this Christmas, F them. I'm your parents now. I'm proud of you." So I remember seeing that video and being like, you know what, that's pretty based. Letting students know that it doesn't matter. You are accepted, you are loved. But apparently, right-wingers looked at that and were like, "Oh, how dare you accept and love these children for who they are and not what we want them to be." We believe in freedom. Okay. Now, Wynn ended up resigning from their teaching position at Owasso Public Schools after Rychik's post and got a new role with Tulsa Public Schools. Walter is still attempting to get his license pulled so he can't teach in Oklahoma. Great. Or so they can't teach in Oklahoma. So, now, that said, going after these woke teachers, oh my God, we got to go after the wokers. We got to fight against the indoctrination and the grooming of our children, unless it actually has to do with real grooming. Walters, on those issues, has been taking a different approach. Like in the case of Jeff Myers. Jeff Myers is an Oklahoma football coach who had worked at Kingfisher High School. Jeff Myers apparently had organized a fight club among his players, which I don't know. The first rule of Fight Club is you're not supposed to talk about Fight Club, but apparently there's one that was created. In this, look, this is some pretty disgusting abuse, right? He had beat them with wet towels and looked the other way when players would sexually assault their teammates in these hazing rituals. In 2021, 2 years before Walters took office as superintendent, one of Myers' players, Mason Mecklenburg, filed a civil lawsuit against Myers and his assistant coaches. Mecklenburg's lawsuits triggered a criminal investigation of Myers. 2 years later, parents of two other Kingfisher players, coached by Myers, claiming that Walters and the Kingfisher School District were, quote, not doing anything to stop the abuse at the school. The State Department of Education has been aware for nearly 2 years, the petitioner said, of the abuse, yet none of those elected, appointed, or employed to keep our schools safe have lifted a finger to eliminate this threat that is unacceptable. In October of 2023, Myers ended up being charged in a criminal investigation, the felony of child neglect, and put on leave by the Kingfisher School District. 2 months after that, the Kingfisher School Board settled Mecklenburg's civil lawsuit for $5 million. Now, despite the lawsuit against him, Walters didn't take action to suspend Myers' teaching certificate until February of this year. That's right. Nearly 5 months after Myers had been charged with a felony, and over a year after taking office, and about almost 3 years after Mecklenburg first went public about this abuse. Where were you, Ryan? Where were you? Now, another incident involved a retired public school teacher who resigned last year with his teaching certificate intact. His alleged victim, Sheena Martin, has gone public at school board meetings and on social media with allegations of grooming, molestation, and rape against this teacher. Once again, Ryan Walters, real slow to take action on this, okay? Even though it had been reported to police and reported to the board itself. That's right. And if that's not enough, Martin had also spoken at a school board meeting right in front of Walters, calling him out to his face for allowing cases like hers to, quote, sit and gather dust while political games are played with our lives. She's not the only alleged victim, by the way. That same teacher had been accused by several others. And though the teacher did resign from teaching last year, Martin does not understand why Walters hasn't actively worked to revoke his certificate. After all, Walters worked for 2 years to revoke Summer Boisver's certificate long after she stopped teaching and left the state. What's the difference there? Well, one was woke, and the other was just raping the kids. I mean, Walters was like, one is acceptable, the other is not. You know, the one that's not acceptable is the wokeness, the woke teacher. Yeah. Now, that teacher actually ended up surrendering his license willfully, but still, that's not the point. Okay, see the difference? Be a woke teacher, and Ryan Walters is going to come for you in an instant. He's going to destroy you. But if you abuse your students, even actually groom them, right? Because I thought the whole idea, well, we're gonna stop the grooming in the schools. Well, when you got a chance to stop the grooming in the schools, you didn't. While going after teachers for being quote unquote too woke or using pronouns or something. Ridiculous. I mean, Ryan Walters is just like, I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You know why it's happening? It's because Ryan Walters and these, anti-woke people don't actually care about protecting the kids. They don't give a damn about the kids. No, it's about going after the left, right? That's all it is. Which really, again, the thing that they're really attacking, though, is facts. Factual information on racism. Factual information on gender. That's it. That's it. And actually going after people, for not fitting into their little binaries that they've set up. Again, anything that they don't like is somehow woke. Ryan Walters is sending you the message that, hey, if you dare to teach facts in Oklahoma, oh no, I'm gonna come for you. I'm gonna call you a groomer. I'm gonna strip your teaching certificate from you. But if you're an actual groomer, well, then that's okay. as long as you're not woke. That's the message that he's sending you. And so that's why this guy needs to be just, removed, recalled from his position, because he doesn't belong anywhere near the good children of Oklahoma. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.